Every time and season of life, wait for a voice. As an apostle, I know that God has made me a voice to humanity, a voice to my nation, a voice to my people, a voice to the nations of the earth. So it is my singular honor this afternoon to speak on the current situation in our dear country, Nigeria. For fear of being accused, many of us will choose to be quiet. But for concern of posterity and for concern of appointment of heaven on our lives, it is good that we speak. Now, by the grace of God, my name is Apostle Dr. Patrick Otolo, and graciously, I have traveled around the world. In a few years of my life, I was born on the very year that Nigeria became independent. My father proudly tells me that I was memorially born. I was born the very year that Nigeria became independent. So the Bible says that where the Spirit of the Lord God is, there's liberty. So I am an independent citizen of this nation. I am a stakeholder on the lot of my nation. I am also a concerned citizen in whatsoever happens in this nation. God will ask me when I return to heaven, I made you an apostle, I made you my servant. What did you do when things went apart in your nation? This afternoon, I go recall that this might be the 40th day that the youth are taking to the streets of our nations to express their disappointment on the leadership and governance concept adopted in the past few years of our current administrators. I want to begin by saying that in Acts of the Apostle, one of the inciting scripture I always recall is the testimony of Luke. He said, and I'm here to talk to you, O King, concerning the things that Jesus began to do and to teach. Now, you see, leadership begins with doing. You don't teach what you don't do. Leadership begins with doing. And doing will always lead to teaching. So Luke was a medical doctor, and he watched Jesus. They watched Jesus for 3 good years and a half. And they saw that he was a leader who resolved to teach the people what he believes and what he has resolved to do. And I define it as leadership of integrity. Nigeria would have been one of the most privileged nations of the earth, blessed by God of heaven with natural fertility across our lands. But it's very, very obvious that we've not been lucky in our leadership deliveries. I will be talking to our leaders the way I feel that I should address them. I will also be speaking to our youth, and then I will also be providing solution on what must be done to move this nation from this crossroad. This is a crossroad. I want to recall very early in January this year, the Spirit of the Lord tapped me, and I was in a deep trance, in a deep vision. Remember that the relevance of messengers are their messages. I'm a messenger of God. So it showed me this vision as a marching order into 2020. And then I had a voice saying, the new season of life will be characterized with a lot of ups and downs. There will be a supernatural movement. God will walk there. And then there will be a shaking. It's such a terrible shaking that I have never been. And then there will be a shifting. This word shifting, theologically decoded, means disorder. Things are not going to be done normally the way they used to be done. There's going to be a shift, there's going to be a departure. And then the end of it will bring about lifting. So 4 things. God will move upon the earth. God will cause a shaking on the earth. God will cause a shifting on the earth. And then there will be a lifting. This lifting is currently where I think we are about to break through into. Now, I went on to say, powers we fell. I believe that our leaders should listen to me. Powers we fell. Money we fell. And connection we fell. But the covenant will stand. When God was speaking to me, I thought that was because our ministry was entering the 20th year. So I wasn't actually expecting the COVID that came immediately. Neither was I expecting this protest. Neither was I expecting the monumental killing. You know, if you know the law of life, you will understand the pain of killing. Those that love their life, when they see something there, someone that just wake up in the morning or go for his assignment, only just to end up dying. God placed a law on life as far back as Genesis chapter 9 and verse 4 to 6. He said, I have permitted no one to shed blood, and anyone that shed a man's blood, by his blood shall he pay back. Now, the blood of a man is his life. And when people deliberately resolve not to guide life, they have deliberately decided to ignore the law of their existence, which is the law of God. Life of a man is in the blood of the man. There's no one person that take a gun and kill innocent child, except in the time of war, that will be exonerated from this law. And so when you kill somebody, you will become abnormal. The blood of the person you kill, the blood of the martyr will hurt you till you die. It's a law of life. And this brings me to the issue of government and governance. Today, we want to talk about democratic government. What is democracy? When I was in primary school, in the early 70s, I was taught by my teacher that democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Government decided by the people, decided for the people, and put in place for the people. So it's the government of people's choice. That's why every politician that wants to rule must be prepared to work hard to go around the areas of jurisdiction to convince people for their vote. So if you can campaign for your vote and have the time to speak to the people, what makes you feel that the people will not have expectation from you? They will demand from you to give account of their leadership. Now, the difference between democratic government and military kind of government is that military kind of government is dictatorship. Do what I want, do what I say, the way I want it. It does not hold when you are seated by the people's choice in the time and season of life. It does not hold ground. Now, when you turn democratic government to government of intimidation, it becomes deceptive, and it becomes government void of integrity. I am saying this because I followed the campaign that migrated to the present administration, and honestly, we felt that there was so much to correct in our nation. And then this government was born. But again, we hold all the campaign promises, but we saw a very sharp departure almost immediately. And so, nothing actually has worked. But that is just for the way. The protests that this youth resolved to embark upon was born out of failed expectations, failed promises, and loss of trust and confidence in governance. On the social media today, I saw a lot of campaign promises in 2015 playing around everywhere, and I asked myself, why were these people making these huge promises, and why have they failed? Now, that's what I teach people in our Leadership Bible College. And that Leadership Bible College talks about the 4 laws of stewardship. Stewardship is servanthood. It begins with the right to ownership, the right to responsibility, the right to accountability, and the right to reward. Leadership actually will, first of all, demand from you a definition of ownership. Who owns the seat by which you'll be made a leader? Who owns the organization? President of Nigeria is sitting on the affairs of Nigeria to take Nigeria from where it was to where Nigerians expect Nigeria to be. So, no president ever succeed when he begins to feel this nation that I've been made president belongs to me. It does not belong to you. It belongs to all of us who have been able to cast our vote to put you in power. I think this must be realized. And it is the responsibility of the president to remind the steward, people around him, that I swear to an oath to do this, and to serve this nation with utmost good faith, and to deliver my campaign promises. And so you needed to create an environment that will enable you to deliver your campaign promises, no matter the confidence and the confidence around you. Now, every leader of a nation must also be able to know that what you do in your country will determine the sovereignty and the destiny of other nations around you, because the world has gone into e-commerce. E-commerce means that the world has gone into a global market, one single unit. You saw what happened during COVID. The same law from the UN governed all the nations on what should be done. So you cannot detach yourself. What makes America America today is by choice of leadership and by the commitment and the integrity and the discipline of the leaders to serve their people. I expect the Nigerian president to, first of all, love Nigeria, love Nigerians, and then desire to leave a memorial legacy on the state. If I am privileged to serve at any capacity, one thing is ultimate in my mind. My father told me about this. Patrick, remember my name anywhere you go, to leave a history, a memorial that will open the door for you again. So, what are the problems today? The problem today is that this world, as we are in now, from those that school in Harvard, that school in Cambridge, that are schooling everywhere in top universities, even UNN in Nigeria, University of Ibadan, and the high-profile universities all over the world, are concerned with manpower development. I'm doing a course in a seminary somewhere in the US, and I was so taken aback when they gave us a curriculum that have to do with 501 course on internet, and another one have to do with mind resource. So the world today is concerned with mind power, not manpower. And mind power has become so essential and necessary because the world is driving towards creativity. In recent time, I was watching China demonstrating their war jet, Russia demonstrating their war jet, India demonstrating their war jet, America demonstrating their war jet. Now, some of these nations don't have oil, they buy from us. But economically, they are stronger. So when you come into leadership, one of the first things that you must know is, what age am I? What is invoked in the age that I'm in? Governance in this age must be IT oriented, mind development oriented, and we must be able to seek to balance knowledge, intelligence with experience, so that we can be able to keep the nation and of course survive and sustain the economy. I was surprised when the late president, the former president Obasanjo came up and then went to hire a finance minister. He was ready to pay in dollars, and that time we were in so much debt, and that decision was unpopular. It was criticized, but he got his result. Mr. President, I want to say to you today that one of your major challenge is your choice of cabinet. I recall in 1984, you were my president. I was not married. Today my marriage is 29 years. So when I got married in 1980, 1990, okay, you were already in retirement. Then you came out of retirement to rule. My first daughter now is 26 years. The question is this: when will she has an opportunity to serve this nation? When men who ruled us in the 70s, in the 80s, are still in power today. The economic policy, the other time they were bringing Idika. I was wondering, it was an economic minister in the time of Shagari, and then they got proper in this age. My son read the finance. When he graduated, I made him the house accountant. And of course, it was very challenging for us to meet his ideas and principles of what they want to do. And they are taking our home from where it is to where it's supposed to be. So, the choice of your cabinet has not helped your delivery and the delivery of your campaign promises. And I think it has to be looked into. Now, for the legislators, every one of you campaign around your constituencies, graciously won, celebrated, and then sworn in to serve this nation. With all that before us, I was watching your preliminary sections at every other time. I was taken aback to wonder what relevance is a bill on hate speech have to do with us as a nation, where everyone with a smartphone is now a media person. Where did we pick it from? Where did we borrow it from? Should that be our priority? With that bill, you touch the youth. It is part of your problem today. I was watching when you sponsor the bill on taking over waterways. You pass a bill. And then today, the farmers got threatened. The natives got threatened. Are they after my land? It's part of your problem today. We watch you sign a bill, Mr. President, on Kama to control NGO and churches. Should that be a priority at this time? You attack the NGOs, which is the social community, and you attack the church. It's part of your problem today. Now, borrowing, when you keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing without visible value converted from the borrowing, you touch the future of the youth. It is part of your problem today. Our infrastructures are failing in our eyes. And then you came up with a statement. You are running a bill to Niger. You are running a railway to Niger. Have you run a railway to our major cities, to our ports, to reduce trailers from our roads? Have you actually served us before you begin to serve our communities? It may be part of your problem today. Killing of our soldiers in impunity. And every time we are watching on video, how many Nigerian soldiers were killed, overtaken? Well, then the killing in Kaduna continued abated for 5 years without any presidential intervention and remedy. It continued. I saw a woman they brought out with 10 men pointing gun and the woman was made naked, and they shot her and shot her and shot her with all their guns until the woman was dead. I saw a number of things that I could not continue. Then the police brutality has continued. It was all over social media and nothing was done. Nothing was done. As a concerned Nigerian, I will blame our government for allowing us to come this way that we are in today. But in every challenges of a nation, there's always a way out. I want to please plead that the government should prevail and continue to plead on the youth and immediately begin to work on themselves. I will ask the Senate President to recall some bills you passed that touch on the morals of Nigeria. I will advise the Senate President, anything you want to do about it, that if the President has not signed them, and even if they have signed them, a motion should be raised to reverse those laws, like the laws of waterways, the bills on waterways, bills on karma, hate speech, and of course, most of the borrowing things should be reviewed. We want to see you continue to do this. And then the issue of Boko Haram and police brutality has gotten to such a height that, in fact, it has become a legal on the police situation. In America, every county has a police, anti-police. Every state has state police, and of course, the federal has CIA. You see, if you get me a policeman from Zamfara to come and work as a policeman in Lagos, you will give me a lot of challenges. The social imbalances cannot work. The exposure cannot work. He is going to feel intimidated by the way a Lagosian will respond. It would have been better to take a Lagos policeman and send to Oyo, or send to Port Harcourt, or send to Benin. This psychology, because of our numerous ethnic background and cultural values and background, might also be part of the problem that we have today. Again, I don't know the processes of recruitment of the police, but I think it has to be reviewed. And thirdly, I feel that the number of police are into influence, they're into drugs, and then they need to be subjected to medical screening and then brain test to know how sound their minds are, so that we'll be able to know who actually can handle a gun. These things might be very costly, may be very demanding, but they're very easy. For the youths, there's no way you can be saved without the police involvement to watch over you. So there will be need to review your strategy in your quest for better governance. And I also want to kind of plead with you to do all you can to be peaceful in your campaign. One of the things I heard one of you say is that this government cannot be trusted. In a way, if campaign promises has failed over time and people have talked over time and nothing was done, I think they have a right. But I also believe that as Nigerians, you have never behaved this way. Now that you behave this way, everybody's going to sit up and change. But I want you to know that if you love this Nigeria, don't destroy it. And don't allow anyone to destroy it. We must be law-abiding. We must be peaceful. We must continue to talk the way I'm talking now. I've spoken to the government. I've spoken to the president. I've spoken to the Senate president. I've spoken to all. I am not looking for anything. I am not looking for anyone to call me for anything. I'm just a Nigerian. And I just believe that as one of the church leaders in a very high-profile level of office, I have a right to talk so that people can be able to understand where we're going. The state chairman of the PFN has spoken, and he has spoken all our mind. I am just doing this on my own personal ground, that I am led to speak that leadership must be redefined. Mind power must be sought. There must be review of our cabinet to bring intelligent mind into government so that the economy will be activated and wake up. I do believe, for instance, if the communication minister understands the age we are in, he wouldn't sponsor hate speech. Rather, he would have sponsored love speech. But when you are doing that, you are telling us, I know where the government is going. I don't want anybody to know. You don't have to talk about government. It's government for the people, by the people. It's government of the people, for the people, by the people. And we have a right to talk about our government. We are not under military regime. So those things to kind of mortgage governance cannot work. I pray by the grace of God that the way forward is to just look at the things that I've said, review all your operation in governance, to talk to the youth and never use force on the youth. God bless you. God bless Nigerian nation. God bless the leadership of Nigeria. God bless the government of Lagos State where I live. And I pray that this will end for the good of our Nigeria and bring us into a new Nigeria. Bye.